Hello, fellow plant weirdos. It's your girl, Carmiel Marceline. If you are new to the channel, hey, welcome to the family. We unabashedly hyperfixate on plants here. And you know what else I hyperfixate on? Scindapsus plants. I currently have more than 15 different varieties of this genus because I clearly can't get enough. And they're my magic plant. They're a plant that no matter what I do, they're always going to stick around. I know how to take care of them. The environment I have is perfect for them. So why move on to a different species? Do you know what I mean? So in today's video, I thought I could share my entire Scindapsus collection. I didn't include the doubles, okay? I had some self-restraint. And I'll share with you a couple of things. How much I spent on it, when I got it, where I got it, how small or how big it was. So grab your coffee, have a seat, get comfy, because
this is gonna be a long one.
We are starting off strong with my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. She's currently, I believe, in a 10-inch planter. Do we just see how huge this thing is? It's sturdy. And I just like, oh, look at the trailing leaves. I got this back, ooh, there goes a little bit of dirt, whoops. I got this back in 2020 when I went to Greenery Unlimited, and I got it for $35, and it was in a 6-inch container. And let's just experience her together, but I clearly cut her up and propped her, and that's why she's so full. But we love a big, luscious queen. This notebook, I legit spent 30 minutes going through all the different Scindapsus purchases that I've made in the last 4+ years. And I'm a little embarrassed to say how much I've spent on them. Maybe we do a fun tabulation at the end of how much money. I don't want to say it went down the drain, but is not with us right now. So let's go sequentially, all right? Let me go back to this. The second one I got is actually this Scindapsus Silver Hero. The sun is just like, you can see the shimmer. It's too tall, so I can't show you the entire thing. But I got this on Etsy, and it came with 2 to 3 leaves that I chopped up, propagated them, and I paid about $30 back in 2022. So I'm gonna do a close-up of the leaf just so you can see the veining and just the beautiful silver variegation. This is my second oldest Scindapsus, and it's semi-hydro, which is why you see the Leica, but I just want to show you the beautiful roots that are down here, because, I mean, if you don't like root porn, do you even like plants? So this one's doing super, super well. It's actually growing to be too tall, so I keep chopping it up, but I'm a sucker for anything silver, which is what you're going to notice with all of these Scindapsus. All right, moving on to the next one. I've got, let's reach on over. I've got this Scindapsus Silver Lady. You can see it's more pointy. And truth be told, I had more of this, but I don't know, this one was super finicky for me, and it just like isn't doing the best. But I did prop her up, and I have a couple of little baby ones that are actually doing better. But I got this back, let me see, in 2022 when Sean from Only Plants was selling plants from his collection, and I got 2 specific things of Silver Ladies, and they were $9 each. The next one I have is a Scindapsus Silver Cloud. So I'm gonna grab that over here. As you can tell, this leaf is huge. Can we just marvel at how ginormous this leaf is? It like could eat this leaf, and this leaf for breakfast. But you can just see it glimmer in the sun. Like just, And then it's also got some pretty texture and just like pattern on those leaves. Like it's just so pretty. Anyway, I got this off of Facebook groups, and I paid for one leaf. I paid about $15 back in 2022. Let's keep going through my notebook. All right, the next one I got is this Jade Satin Variegated Scindapsus. I got this also in 2022. You can see some of this variegation. I'd say this was my first variegated plant of all time. This one, yeah, you would think that it would grow a lot more, but I don't know. I think this is one of the original leaves I had. And this one was pretty expensive. It was right before variegation exploded, and I imported it actually from Indonesia. How this Jade Satin variegation burns in is it starts off super green, and then over time, as it gets access to more light, it actually turns white instead of yellow. Not my favorite plant. The next one is my Scindapsus Mayari, which I got off of Facebook groups, and I paid for one leaf $100 back in 2023. So a Mayari is also variegated, but it's got this cream, beautiful variegation that you can kind of see. I think this is actually the original leaf that I got. You can see how beautiful that variegation is. I am having trouble though, because it will revert a lot of the time. But what I've found is that it'll revert once, and then the next one that grows in will be variegated. So unclear on how that actually works, but I love that beautiful milky cream variegation. Next, we have the Treubii Moonlight Tricolor, which I got in a auction on Facebook groups. And I spent about, how much did I spend? $48 back in 2023. It's still having some issues with, it's like not growing super fast, but maybe over time it will. Maybe I also don't have it in the best pot, but you can see it's also a different texture. The leaf has a different texture than some of the previous ones I've shown you, but this one is a beautiful variegation. Scindapsus Silver Swan that I also got from a seller on Facebook groups. This is like one of the most breathtaking variegations. You can just see how it's more pointy, but do you see the different shades? But I spent $45 on this one. And I got only this one leaf. I actually think it died. This is probably the one that grew. And it's been slowly propagating for the last year plus. I've been too lazy, honestly, to just pot it up. This Scindapsus Halimun, which is a variegated silver cloud. You can't really see it as well over here, but you can kind of see this. And I'm gonna try and move it so you can see a little bit of the sheen that's happening on this leaf. Like there's definitely some silver variegation. It's more yellow and green, like a minty color, but she is absolutely gorgeous. And I got only one leaf for $127 on Facebook groups. Then we have something called a sparkling Borneo. I got this also from Facebook Marketplace. It had 3 leaves, which of course, what did I do? I chopped and propped it, and I spent $102 on this. That's not the most expensive plant I bought though. So you can, it's so pretty. I also have a smaller one that I've propagated as well. Next, we've got the silvery velvet NOID. So I don't think this has been classified yet. The difference is that these leaves are definitely more velvety. They're also more silvery. I'll try and get closer to the camera for you all to see. Don't mind that it's burning over here. It was too close to the grow light, okay? My Scindapsus Apolaki. This one I spent a lot of money on. The difference between an Apolaki and a Mayari is that the Apolaki has more of a neon lime, neon yellow coloring to it, and the leaves are also smaller, which you can kind of see here. So this is the original one I got, which is, I think was, how much did I spend? $215 in 2023. And let me actually take this out of its container. But you can see this neon yellow color. You can see it even more over here. And then even more over here. And then this is actually the top leaf that's burning in the variegation right now. Then from there we've got a Scindapsus Silver Night, which I am trying to find where I put it. I got her as a top cutting, so there were 2 leaves, and I got her in 2023 for about $45. So the theme here is silver variegation. This is the newest leaf. I think these 2 are the original ones. And then we've got, where is it? Oh, here. A dark tricolor princess that I also got off of Facebook groups, and I got it last year for $30. So it's a darker leaf. It feels more rubbery, the texture of the leaf, but if you actually look closely, you can see that there are 3 different colors, different shades. The last one I got in 2023, which I think this is the most I actually spent on a leaf. It was $240. I think this year the seller was quoting it for half the price, so I definitely got it when it was super peak time. But this is a NOID, a Scindapsus Exotica aurea, and you can, it looks like my first plant, that Exotica, but it's got that beautiful yellowish variegation. The annoying part is, like, I've had it for a year and it somehow hasn't developed a growth point, which is quite frustrating. You can actually see it's got such great roots, but I don't know what's happening. So if you know how to activate it, please let me know, because I don't want this to be a sad investment piece. I want it to grow more leaves because it's such a beautiful color. From there, we're gonna go into my Maharlika, which I just bought earlier this year. I spent $55 on it. I got it from Facebook groups as well. And the reason it was $55 was because it was only these 2 leaves over here. You can see that beautiful yellow variegation. It's got a bigger leaf than even the Apolaki that you kind of see here. And it was cheaper, it was discounted because it reverted. So there wasn't any variegation on this leaf and the owner just didn't want to deal with it. So I was like, I will gamble. I will take a gamble. So I got it, and like, look at how beautiful this leaf is. I didn't even need to chop or prop it up. Like it's already, and it's also growing like aerial roots because of the propagation box it's in, but it is so pretty. It is so pretty. We got a Scindapsus Silvery Ann. This one was $20 and I got it this year. And I had always seen Silvery Anns, but I never bought one. But I saw this one version. I think there was only 3 or 4 leaves, and look how much it's grown in the last like 3 months. Like it's actually quite crazy. But the hallmark of a Silvery Ann is like it's got splotches of variegation. It's never like the entire full leaf, which is crazy. Like you can even see it on these and even the earlier ones where it's not too much variegation. But this one, for instance, this one is my favorite leaf right now. We finally have our last one, which I need to find out where I put it. Did I lose it? Oh, here it is. This is the one I bought most recently for $95. It's a Scindapsus P-Sun. Don't ask me what the differences are. It's got different variegation that you can kind of see here. It's more speckled. It's like a creamy white. I didn't realize that was going to be so tiring. Okay. I lied because there are a couple more plants that I didn't talk about. So I don't know which one this is, but I did a couple months ago a Scindapsus mystery node growth experiment where I bought like 10 or 15 different Scindapsus nodes and then grew them, and some of them are flourishing with multiple leaves. I don't know exactly what these are. If you do know, let me know. But I'm actually going to link that video up for you over there if you're interested in seeing some of the experiment. But this was one of the plants that I ended up getting. I also got, I believe it's a silver splash. You should kind of see the... And I don't know if these are silver heroes or platinums necessarily. Unclear. If you know, let me know down below. But I got like 15 for 20 bucks. So these were really, really cheap. This one, I don't know if it's a silver tattoo, because I don't know if you can actually see the subtle coloring in there. It might only be something that I can see on my end, but I'm curious. And then lastly, I think this is, oops, it's like falling out of its container because I need to repot it. I think this just is a regular Jade Satin, which is what you can kind of see here. It has the same texture as the variegated Jade Satin that I have. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is my Treubii Moonlight over here, which is really struggling. I haven't quite figured out how to grow this one yet. I think that's the hardest Scindapsus I've had. But I hope you had a good time with me. This is my favorite genus. I clearly cannot get enough of them, and to be frank with you, I'm probably going to continue to collect Scindapsus and get rid of some of my other genus, because like anthuriums, I'm not about that life. No thank you, I don't need those velvety leaves, I'm good. Scindapsus are for sure super resilient. If there was one plant in my collection that you are lusting after, if you could just comment down below, I would love to know. And hopefully if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And if you want to be notified every single time I post, ring that bell. With that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for spending it with me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!